So, good evening. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a little friend of mine. This is Devi. She's a 7th grader in elementary school. Isn't she cute? Now, Devi's just about your average elementary schooler, and she can answer any of those questions that you'd throw at her, such as, how old are you, what's your favorite color, and what do you want to be when you grow up? Devi's 7, her favorite color is purple, and when she grows up, she's going to be famous. Now, the biggest event at Devi's elementary school was the yearbook signing. Every single time Devi wrote her name in someone's yearbook, underneath it she wrote, "You'll want this when I'm famous." Yes, if you haven't already figured out, I was that adorable little 7-year-old. And despite my odd yearbook habits, I was rather mature for my age, seeing as I had a goal in life, to be famous. Just the other day, my mom asked me, "What do you plan on doing after college?" I answered, "I'd like to be a female soccer player, but looking at the wage gap in women's sports, I'll never be as rich as that little 7-year-old girl wanted to be." So, can anyone tell me why a woman has a smaller chance of being paid as much as Messi or Ronaldo when she plays women's professional soccer? The gender-based wage gap. Can anyone tell me why a woman's chance of being paid big bucks is low even when she does the same job as a man? The gender-based wage gap. Hi, I'm Devi de Olivera, and as you can probably tell by now, I've had ambitions to go far in life from a young age. But determination isn't what's holding women back in their professional lives. You know what it is, so say it with me. It's the gender-based wage gap. Looking at the wage gap, what are women being discounted for? As you can see, women's salaries have always lagged far behind the males. If we head back to soccer, women play the sport beautifully, while men are often seen flopping or rolling around on the ground, like so. Why are these men being paid so much more if they're just going to roll around on the ground? Many people attribute this to viewership, but the previous president of FIFA, Sepp Blatter, has his own idea about how we can fix this issue. He believes we should let women play in more feminine clothing, like they do in volleyball. For example, they could wear tighter shorts. So what Mr. Blatter is trying to get across is that for us to close this wage gap, we need to show a little bit more skin. But how much skin would a women's professional soccer team need to show to make as much as the men's teams? How close would a women's professional soccer team resemble a line of can-can girls? Neither of them wear much clothing, and they both have great kicks. In the future, would we be able to tell them apart? Let's not have to find out. Looking at the FIFA World Cups illustrates even more concern for the gender-based wage gaps. The German team won the FIFA Men's World Cup in 2014. They took home $35 million US. The United States men's team the US men's team didn't place. They lost before the round of 16. They still took home $8 million US. Heading to the World Cup for women, the United States women's national team won. They beat Japan 5-2. It was an intense game. At the stadium, there were 1.25 million fans in attendance. That's pretty big, right? Now, if we look at television statistics, there were 25.4 million fans watching in the United States alone. That's pretty record-breaking, literally, because that was the most watched soccer game in US history. Most watched, males or females. But how much were these women paid to win this championship? They were paid $2 million. These women were paid $2 million to be the best in the whole world at a sport. While the United States men's team was paid $8 million to be eliminated and have to go home before the round of 16 finished. Why are these women being paid so much less? If we look at the wage gap in the United States, the average woman earns only 77% of what the average male earns. Straight out of college, women are being limited by the gender-based wage gap. If we look at the second study shown, you can see after 1 year of graduation, even though the women work the same number of hours, have the same level of degrees, they still lag behind in salaries annually. Why are these women being paid so much less? If we look at the top 200 highest paid CEOs in the United States, 11 of these are women. On average, these women are paid $1.6 million less than the average male's salary on this list. These women dedicate so much of their lives to their jobs, but they are still being paid less. Why is that? If we look at gender discrimination, we've seen it throughout history. But what is truly different between a female and a male? A female, she can get pregnant. And a male, he has a Y chromosome in his pants. But what is really going on behind this? Women believe that they should be paid equally. And we know as a society that women can make money just as well as men. So you know what I want you to go do? I want you to go and push forward if you believe you belong in a higher ranking position than society tells you you can be in. I want you to go and take your boss's job. No, I want you to go be the next Mark Zuckerberg because he still has a massive multi-billion-dollar company worldwide and manages to go home and take care of his family. Many women believe they should not go for higher positions because they are obligated by societal pressures to stay home. But if we look back to the US in 1963, this was when the Equal Pay Act was enacted. This was a huge step for women because this allowed them to earn 59 cents for every male's US dollar. This was giant. But what can we do to continue to take that next step? What can we do to close this gap for good? We need to start changing our stereotypes because women should not be seen as the housemakers and baby protectors. We know women are able to be just as successful as men. None of us need to limit our dreams. We need to empower one another to go far in life. As Grayson Marshall once said, if people aren't laughing at your dreams aren't big enough. Remember that little girl I introduced you to at the beginning? She had really big dreams, and some of you probably found that kind of funny. So I want you to go out there and make your dreams really, really big. Don't limit them. Go out there and push for it because I know you can do it. As a society, we can all do this to close this gap together. Thank you.